Good afternoon and welcome to InterBolsa for the weekly review for the week of June the 12th. The main driver for the market this week was the very benign CPI number for May, which came out last week. This added a lot of confidence to the market. We saw the coal cap up 2.28% week on week. That despite a pullback on Monday. Volumes have been good, $47 million average per day. There would have been higher, to be honest. There's plenty of buyers around, but the pension funds locally have no interest in selling. They're long. They've bought hundreds of millions of dollars over the last 2 months, and that's causing a liquidity crunch in some of the names. Names like Inversiones, Chocolates, even some of the Bank Colombia names, very thin on volume. The peso itself has moved to 2012, and unless something really changes, we should be moving below 2000 in the next few sessions. This isn't anything particular to Colombia, as we've seen the same in the real and many other currencies in the world against the dollar. Test bonds, interesting week, moved as high as 9.56% on the benchmark, closed out the week at 9.24%. We saw yields at the bi-weekly auction rise as well, seem to indicate that we're at the bottom of the market for the test for the time being. This is next week, bear in mind, is going to be a shortened week, and this will be the first of 3 long weekends consecutively, and this could affect liquidity during June, especially as it's the school holidays as well. On the macro side, we saw imports for May drop 21.3%, obviously a clear sign of consumer slowdown here. Also, this coincides with the weakest point of the peso, and that will have been a big impact on imports, especially year on year. Year on year, if you look back 1 year, the peso was much stronger, and so the comparisons are quite tough. The only other macro data in the week, we had construction cost information out for the housing and the heavy construction sector. Both pieces of data stay very benign indeed. In politics, Uribe's been in Canada defending the free trade agreement with the Canadians. There's obviously a fair bit of opposition in the Congress up there. It is expected to pass, but he was forced to give a fairly aggressive defense of Colombia's position right now. He moves on from there. He has a meeting with Washington with Obama on the 29th. Again, the free trade agreement with the US should be agreed, should be discussed at least at that point. Agreement will probably come next year. Domestically, the supporters of Uribe and the referendum in 2010 are getting a little bit nervous because the Congress goes into recession on June the 20th, and there's not much progress right now. There's some discussion publicly of extra sessions in order to get stuff done. Going through Congress right now is the Financial Reform Act. It's now passed the 2 votes in the Senate. It now faces a further 2 votes in Congress, one with the full Congress, one with the committee. Again, that's expected to go through. The main implications right now for the pension industry, we'll see a 3-tier pension product coming out of that, which will be a big help for the pension companies. Generally, with banking, the main facets of the bill are protection for consumers. So that we should see that come through in the next couple of weeks. We had the DBRS, which is the ratings agency from Canada. They upgraded Colombia to investment grade with a BBB status. Now, as we know, they're a junior rating agency, but nonetheless, the words that went along with it were very generous. They talked about security, the ability to repay debt, and again, that added some confidence to the market. On the stock side, really not very much happening. We reinitiated on Inversiones with a buy. We see them as at the very center of the energy boom we expect here in Colombia. They also have excellent management. They have a lot of cash. We see it as a great story. Aside from that, very little going on. Ecopetrol and Pacific Rubiales discovered a small amount of oil, and that really was about it. On the BBC next week, be aware on Tuesday we see the launch of peso futures, which will be another landmark for the BBC. And that really is about it. The other announcement of the week is ourselves at InterBolsa. We announced our corporate conference for September the 23rd to the 25th here in Medellin, which really is the home of the industrial sector, and we look forward to seeing as many people as possible here. On a personal note, today, June the 12th, marks 4 years for me here in Colombia. So you'll see on the weekly, if you scroll down to the comment section, you'll find what I have to say after 4 years, and generally I do feel a lot of optimism about the country. So that's about it from Medellin. I'll bid you good day. Again, it is a long weekend, so don't be calling us until at least Tuesday, and everyone else, have a great weekend wherever you are.